In 2001, the pizza mafia was still strong, and we had the best pizza game in the land. In 2001, you could buy gas for $1.47 a gallon. In 2001, you could buy a pizza for $12.99. No! $8.99. And in 2001, you could buy Fast Food Tycoon 2 for $19.99. Let's look at today's prices. $1.99 a gallon for gas, or about $1.70 where I live. $12.49 for the exact same pizza. Yeah, somehow that went down. And Fast Food Tycoon 2 has actually increased in value ever so slightly at just over $20. The perfect investment, truly. If you had bought a pallet of these back in '01, you could be turning an easy profit right now. This is one of countless games to bear the Tycoon name. Transport Tycoon, Roller Coaster Tycoon, and Railroad Tycoon gave that word the heavy meaning it held back in the late 90s and early thousands. And it wasn't long before upstart young game companies wanted a piece of the pie. The first Fast Food Tycoon, or as it was known in Europe, Pizza Syndicate, I have never played in my life. I wanted to, but I just never came across it. I did, however, find Fast Food Tycoon 2 at a Kmart that looks just as outdated today as it did in 2001, and I loved it. But am I as easily entertained now as I was at 10 years old? Not really, no. You name your character and your company and set forth to conquer the national pizza scene, which is about as difficult as it sounds. The initial prices your restaurants have set are hopelessly non-competitive, and in order to actually attract any kind of business, you'll need to drop them significantly, or your opponents will have your head beneath their boot heels in no time. The structure of your pizza company is simple. You have restaurants which you can either rent or construct yourself. You get your supplies directly from stores, which is wildly expensive, or you have your own company warehouse which you stock from a supplier. You have a headquarters which determines your abilities to run your business more efficiently, from hiring managers to advertising to being able to leave your competition's ovens smoldering beneath a pile of ash and debris. This is actually the most interesting part of the game, I would say. The whole crime aspect is what gives the game its unique appeal. If this were just an ordinary pizzeria business simulator, what would be so interesting about that? But you can hire gangsters to go on shooting sprees, or escape prisoners who continuously dress like prisoners to attack tables with cartoonishly large wooden clubs. And that's just fun. There's also the ability to create your own pizzas to sell in your stores. You can, of course, concoct reasonable designs that normal human beings would actually buy, or you can take the approach of creating a pizza that's just a crust with a rattlesnake on top of it. There are a variety of different customer demographics, each with their own preferences. You're not likely to please them all, but it's important to market your restaurants in accordance with their primary customers. You won't do well with a rundown dive next to the opera or a classy establishment that sells edible art to the shift workers by the dock. When my mama Tatino, she come to this country, she had a great big dream. She wanted to make everybody a nice big pizza. But she a very old and geriatric woman with wrinkles like a Venetian canal. So she come to me, she said, "Diventare la pizza il mio figlio." She leaned in and she whispered her dying words, "Go and spread my love, my little bambino." So I go on make the pizzas all across the world, but then I find this game. This is Fast Food Tycoon 2. I see that the creators had a great vision. They envisioned a world where all fast food is pizza. There are no burger joints and all is anything Kentucky Fried. It is all pizza. Someone share my vision, and my tears, they fill the creases of my smile. I no longer needed the pizza, I had this game. I had all the pizza I could want before me, but was it truly as satisfying as the real food I had devoted my life to? Was I truly getting the actual pizza experience from this game, or had I simply been experiencing some combination of pleasures which were so similar to that of pizza that I had forgotten how wonderful my mama's pies were? Get out of here! Sorry about that. He had a little bit of an immigration problem in the recording area. Fast Food Tycoon is a bit of a strange game, really. It's certainly appealing, and it's most definitely a better game than some of the Tycoon games out there, but it doesn't really rise above the level of just being acceptable. It's also incredibly slow-paced. Everything moves like it's been marinated in molasses, and very little of the game is actively explained to you. The name is also a subject of contention. While I saw pizza on the cover being presented to me by a very disfigured and sinister-looking man, the words fast food are a bit more synonymous with, say, burgers and fries to me. I'm not the only one who thought this. You show this game to anyone and the first thing out of their mouth will be, "I thought this was called Fast Food Tycoon. Why can you only sell pizza at your restaurants?" And I just don't know. I can't sleep. I can't figure it out. And the pizza looks like vomit on a plate. It's not like this game sold millions, and so it has more or less been consumed by time and forgotten. So I don't think there's a very clear consensus on why it was called Fast Food Tycoon here in the States. I know that it was called Pizza Connection 2 in Europe, which actually makes a lot of sense considering the importance of criminal activity in the game. The Pizza Connection trial is the longest federal criminal trial in U.S. history, and it ran from September 30th, 1985 to March 2nd, 1987. The trial centered around a mafia-run enterprise that distributed heroin and cocaine in the United States, then laundered the cash before sending it to the suppliers in Sicily. The mafia utilized a large number of pizza parlors as fronts in their scheme, leading to the name Pizza Connection. Alternately, the Pizza Connection is a term for the correlation between the prices of a slice of pizza and subway fare in New York City throughout recent history. If the name was changed for the American release, I think it a bit more likely that it was because of the first reason I listed rather than the latter. If you like playing business sims, you'll probably like this one. I ate up every Tycoon game I could find when I was younger, and while many disappointed me, this one always remained a favorite. It's not a very easy game to find a physical copy of, and as far as I'm aware, you can't buy it in digital form. If you take the time to Google a bit, however, you can find a small community with some download links for the game. So while I don't condone that, it does work. Fast Food Tycoon 2 gets a final score of a medium out of large, with a nice side of breadsticks just for you.